You riding the Rift train to Mirthtown, James, are you?
Yeah, I thought we'd better blooming put this recorder on if I'm going to be...
Yeah, because we've been waiting at the Rift station for quite a while.
I'm sorry, this is a Rift replacement service.
Oh no.
It is going to be taking a lot of deviations. And no, there's no room for your bike. But, Alistair, I shouldn't be saying this at a full loudness voice. I should be doing a special. We've got a deputy guest law person whisper.
That's a very familiar whisper.
We've got a guest deputy law person today.
Would it be Welsh correspondent Jenny Collier, James?
It is. It's Welsh deputy law person Jenny Collier. Welcome to Xmas Pig.
Yay, hello, thanks for having me.
But yeah, I don't want to be little Johnny Calendars, but it's not Valentine's Day. It's Xmas Pig month.
Yeah, yes, it is.
The equally respected festival.
Yeah, equally well known. We were supposed to have Jenny on for last year's Xmas Pig, but I was struck down with the, at that point, novel coronavirus.
I thought you got struck down by getting to book Danny Robbins instead.
Huh?
James, you didn't bump Jenny. But Danny.
I don't think I did. I don't think I did.
I don't think you would have done that.
But I think it did just so happen.
Might have really looked like that's what happened, but I don't think that's what happened.
It might have looked exactly like that what would have happened, but I also did have a cold at the same time.
Sure. I'm sorry to hear that.
Sure. And you don't know my cold because it goes to a different school. But welcome this year, Jenny.
Welcome, Seasons Oinkings, Jenny. We've never really found a single phrase that goes well with Xmas Pig. If you think of one, it's a bit late. Seasons Oinkings is about as good as it gets.
That is very good. We've already pre-recording explained to Jenny what Xmas Pig is, and you, the listener, should know by now.
Come on, listener.
What a Xmas Pig is. I mean, come on. Listen to one of the other Christmas episodes. I'm sure we explain it in that.
Footnote, that's not a guarantee. We may not explain it.
Probably not. But, Jenny, we've got a wonderful Welsh Christmas pig. Well, it's not a Christmas pig, is it? It's just a Welsh pig, haven't we?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a Welsh pig.
Yes, yeah. We've got the pig.
Hen Wen. It's like when Benedict Cumberbatch tries to say penguin.
Oh, quickly stop listening to the podcast and Google that if you've never heard Benedict Cumberbatch trying to say penguin.
Is it penguin?
It's like hearing a penguin trying to say Benedict Cumberbatch. That is how bad he is at it.
No, it's Hen Wen. It's like Benedict Cumberbatch wondering when he's going to get a hen. Hen Wen?
Hen Wen.
Hen Wen. But it's actually two Welsh words put together that mean old white.
Oh.
Which is an Aldi version of aftershave that you can get.
And doubles up as a cider. Alistair, do you recognise the name Hen Wen?
It sounds familiar. It does sound familiar, and I don't know why. Is it just because it's a Welsh word and I've heard some of them whenever Jenny comes on the podcast?
Perhaps, in part, but it is the name of the pig in 1985's Disney film, The Black Cauldron.
Of course, The Black Cauldron from Disney's period.
Yes.
When they made films that were good, but nobody enjoyed.
I blooming loved The Black Cauldron. I really did. It was genuinely my favourite. At the time, you know, as a sort of 6-7-year-old kid, grown-ups would say, what's your favourite Disney? I'd say The Black Cauldron. They'd stop that conversation because they thought I was weird.
They were like, this kid's got bad vibes.
Because there's no songs.
This 6-7 foot tall child is creeping me out.
Hello. The Black Cauldron.
Crushing a high chair into splinters.
How did you manage to watch it as a child? Because I didn't hear about it until today, and I watched it today, and I researched it today, but I'd never heard of it, but it got banned. So how did you manage to see it as a child?
It did come out in the cinema, and I think that must have been where I saw it.
Okay.
And then I reckon, because that's the thing, one of the famous things about it was that it was unavailable. You know how before Disney Plus, Disney used to like really restrict what films you could buy on video. No, you could get it out of the video shop, I think. I think it was available for rentals.
Well, I read that it didn't go to VHS until 14 years later.
97, yeah.
So I thought things go straight to VHS if they're bad, but maybe you just go to VHS at an unusual amount of time afterwards if you're bad. So either really quickly or really longly.
Well, it was. I used to be friendly with the owners of Georgie's Video Library, which was the local video shop across the road from me. He wasn't called George. I never found out who Georgie was.
You weren't that friendly. The real friends of the owner knew why it was called that.
If you ran a video shop, you got access to a special video shop catalogue. And I saw one of these once, and the prices of the videos were like multiple hundreds to £1,000.
Whoa.
Because they were these
Each?
extra strong, per video, because they were extra strong videos. Like,
So they could be watched and rewatched and rewatched.
so they could be rewatched and so on. And so
Wow.
it was the home video market was a different market to the home video purchase market. So I reckon it must have been out as some, because I definitely saw it more than once. Maybe it was just on telly and it got taped. But I was a toddler in the world. I didn't understand how things worked.
I was 1.
I think you got your maths wrong.
I was also 1 years old when this came out. Yeah, I was 1 year old because Jenny and I, don't know if the listeners know, we're actually twins. Celebrity twins. That's how I think of us. If we're doing name dropping, James, because you know the guy who ran that video store, I once worked with Sue Sheridan, who plays the little girl. She's the voice of Eilonwy. Yeah, because as a voice actor, she's sadly passed away now. But years ago, I made a video game and directed her as one of the voices for one of the characters.
Really? Which is that Nelly Cottler?
So it's just a classic celebrity fact from Celebrity Twin ABK.
So one of the reasons that the film got banned, or parts of it got banned, was because there was a scene of a 12-year-old animated child with torn clothes. Disney.
Come on, Disney.
I mean, there's a grown man duck with no trousers on.
Not in this one, all right? That's a different one. But James, he's in the Navy. Things are different at sea.
Well, it was. I did do a little reading on it, and it was at the time the most expensive animated film when it came out, and it was a massive flop. Most people, apart from me, true, visionaries like little baby Jimmy Shakes,
enormous baby James Shake.
little baby giant Jimmy Shakes,
born a Black Cauldron again. Oh, you better do what he says.
Lucky this video is made out of extra strong plastic. Snap it like so much kindling.
Grabs it in enormous fists.
Yeah, it did really badly, and people thought it was bad, but I really liked it.
It still hasn't made back half the money. It still hasn't even. It was 44 mil. I mean, I know this isn't the research I'm meant to be doing for the Welsh fairy tale, but it was meant. It cost 44 mil, and it took less than half still to this very day.
Wow. I guess if you've made the most expensive film ever made, because every time I hear about a film that was the most expensive film ever made, it was like, and it was a huge flop. And I think that might be connected to it being the most expensive one, because then it needs to make more money to not be a flop.
Yeah, it needs to make more money than any film ever.
So you should have made it less expensively.
So you actually watched it today? It's very spooky, isn't it?
It's so scary. It's so 80s. At first, I thought I was going to fancy the boy.
Taran.
He would have been right. He would have been my type in like the 90s, but now it's a large no from me. He's
Yeah, he is a bit of a douche at points.
Such a tool. Terrifying. I found myself quite invested, and I was like, I couldn't believe it was a kid's film.
Go on. I'll say spoiler.
No spoilers. Like if you want to watch it, listen away for approximately 5 seconds. But the bit where the really annoying koala bear sacrifices itself.
It's proper dead for a bit.
Wait, there's a koala. How is there a koala in it?
It's called Gurgly. Gurgy.
Are they common in Wales? Koalas?
He's got like a bit of a. He's got a Jar Jar Binks way of talking.
Oh,
I thought he was like Gollum.
Or maybe a Gollum-y. Yeah.
Or maybe a Jar Jar Binks, but he's very annoying.
But he does make the ultimate sacrifice, and then for quite a bit before he's brought back nicely at the end. End of spoilers? How will anyone know? They won't know to tune back in.
We've lost
I love
people.
that I said 5 seconds, and then after 15, you're like, and then he's fine.
Bang on 31 seconds when you skip on. But yeah, it's a great, and there is a pig in that film, basically, called Hen Wen. But that is not the same Hen Wen that we're talking about. So these were written by a guy called Lloyd Alexander, and there was a whole series of books, and the first 2 were adapted into the Black Cauldron about this lad, Taran. And I looked up Lloyd Alexander, assuming he'd be some Welsh guy. Where do you think he's from?
Where's he from?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, USA.
Pittsburgh in America.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh. And he was he's just really got into the Mabinogion, started writing books. In 1963, he wrote the novel Time Cat.
Oh, that Lloyd Alexander, the author of Time Cat.
It's about Jason and his cat, Gareth.
Oh, a Welsh cat? Is the cat Welsh?
No, I don't think so.
It sounds like a very Welsh cat, Gareth. Gareth the cat.
Gareth the cat.
Gareth. Oh, we're going through time, look you. I'm Gareth the time-travelling cat, I assume. That's a direct quote from the book.
The cat says, I assume, as well.
Yeah, the cat says, I assume. Yeah, it's weird.
So what it is, it's about a kid who finds out his cat can travel through time 9 times.
Oh.
And apparently, after 9 episodes, they return home. Gareth says he will never again speak to Jason, and he forbids Jason ever to mention their travels to anyone. Now, I haven't read the book. I've just read a little sort of synopsis, and it just lists the places they go. It doesn't say whatever happened to cause such a horrible rift between these two erstwhile pals.
Wow.
But yeah, 1963's Time Cat, which just sounds quite cool. But no, that is...
Is that also not technically Welsh mythology?
That is not Welsh mythology. That is not our Hen Wen. Our Hen Wen, Old White, was well, you find stories about her in the Red Book of Hergest, hey?
Hergest.
And the White Book of, is that Riddick?
Yeah.
Is it like a Welsh Chronicles of Riddick?
It's Welsh for Riddick.
Ah. It's not got Finn Diesel. He's too fast. He's too furious. He's Finn Diesel. Anyway, these are Welsh triads, aren't they? So, yeah, do you want to explain what a triad is in this context?
Oh, you should do it because I have got no idea.
Okay. Welsh triads, it's a method of storytelling where they tell things in threes.
Oh, yeah, it was that. Yeah.
And it's often used to make a point. And an example is 3 things are not easily restrained. The flow of a torrent, the flight of an arrow, the tongue of a fool.
Oh, ouch. I wouldn't want to be a talkative fool at a time like this. So it's the rule of 3.
It's basically, yeah, your rule of 3. So sometimes it's used to make a point, but obviously because these would have mostly been told in the oral tradition, sometimes it was they just grouped 3 things together so that people would remember them. And Hen Wen comes from very much that sort of style of triad, because Hen Wen is just told as part of the 3 powerful swineherds of the Isle of Britain, which is, I mean, I don't know what the other 2 things are going on with, but I like the idea of a powerful swineherd.
Yeah, the big 3 swineherds edition.
Swineherds wise. So, Jenny, do you want to fill us in what's going on with Hen Wen when we meet Hen Wen?
So when we meet Hen Wen in the film, so you're saying it's not a different one to the one in the film?
I think it's a different one. I think it's got the same name.
I did not get that.
What I heard happens to Hen Wen in the mythology, I don't remember happening in the film, but maybe I've selectively forgotten some of the more harrowing elements.
I don't know which. I thought it was the same. I thought it was the same pig, but just I didn't know which came first of the film or the written down stuff. And then I was like, well, maybe because it's a fortune teller pig, no relation to fortune teller fish, that it maybe was doing something with the timeline. And I didn't know which came first. But where we meet it in the written down version of things, it was about to give birth, wasn't it?
It's a big old white sow that's pregnant.
Yeah. And then people of the land of Prydain, aka Britain, were like, this is really bad news that this pig's going to give birth. Like, if it gives birth, that's going to be bad.
Some sort of general prophecy stuff.
It would just be, while people were going about their business, there would just be like a radio on, and it would just sort of say, and the very large pig is due to give birth to its piglets, which has widely been described as something that will be bad. And so you just accept it. You're like, oh, okay, the pig's going to give birth.
And it's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's bad. People are worried about it.
They decided to chase it away.
While pregnant?
Oh, yeah.
Like a big pink Mary from the Bible. Like a porcine Virgin Mary. Sorry, Big White Mary.
Famously white and old.
A big old white Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
If they chased the Virgin Mary into the ocean.
They chased the pig into the ocean. They tried to kill the pig.
Off the coast of Cornwall.
They chased it to Cornwall. That is the longest distance you could chase it to get to the sea. That's so far away. If you're in Wales, you'd have to go round. You have to go via Bristol. It's going to take ages.
The eggs on their faces, the pig eggs on their faces. Oh, that's horrible. Because the pig turns up again in Gwent.
Gwent.
Which is in Wales, famously.
Gwent, like the card game from The Witcher 3.
Don't know, I've not played The Witcher.
All right, I'm talking to the wrong people here. But the people listening will be nodding so furiously their headphones have flung off.
It turns up in Gwent. And, well, what happens, Jenny?
So the pig does some babies, does some offspring, sorry.
Yeah, when Alistair said piglets earlier, I was like, whoa.
Whoa, not piglets?
Lower those expectations in a way.
Yeah. And it's 5 different offspring in 5 different areas of Wales. So in one place, she gives birth to a grain of wheat and a bee.
Oh, no.
I imagine.
A bee flying near. And a grain of wheat. We've all had sweet corn, haven't we, in our lives?
Mm-hmm.
I see where this is going.
So would you call that giving birth? I don't know.
How can you tell as well? Presumably, it's going to, this big old white pig, it's going to have churned up the ground a bit. How are you going to find a grain of wheat in all of that?
A single grain. I was imagining an ear or something, a stalk. Just a grain of wheat and a bee.
A grain of wheat and a bee. That was it. I heard that was in Gwent.
And when it was there, it was like, that means wheat is going to be good in this area. And then she went somewhere else and gave birth to a grain
Anything on the bees? Or was it just...
Oh, that it would be good for bees. Just good for like harvest stuff, maybe. And then in the next place, grain of barley.
And another bee. Get your bees out all in the same place. That's my advice.
Especially when you're birthing bees.
Yeah, get them all out.
Just to go back, I heard some reports said it was a grain of barley and a bee, some wheat and a piglet.
Oh, a piglet. I don't know why I'm surprised.
An unexpected piglet.
Oh, I didn't get a piglet.
It's Clonin in Pembroke or Difford.
I liked you coming in like a 1930s reporter with a little card that says press in your hat to be like, some reports have claimed that a piglet was born. Is that true? Do you have any comment on the alleged pig?
We're getting news there's a grain of barley.
You're just like, I don't care that it gave birth to 2 bees. Did it give birth to a pig?
And then I've got Llain in Arfon.
Yeah, Llyn, I think. But you're not far off. Arfon, yeah.
What did it give birth to there? A cruet and a Lego.
No, this time it was animals, but it was a wolf cub and an eaglet.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, I had that at I had that located at Snowdonia.
Oh, yeah, Eryri.
But at Llain in Arfon, all it was, just a grain of rye. And how it's written here is grain o rye, like fillet o fish or something like that, like it's a brand name.
Gives new meaning to the phrase trying for a baby, doesn't it?
It sounds like it would be quite trying for the pig, frankly, with all the walking. And those bees are not coming out quietly, so...
And the fact that it has to go to a different place between each birth, but that was what it was pregnant with the whole time. My dog used to...
When she was doing
It doesn't matter, no.
That must have been a bit like how Hen Wen felt.
Well, we've only done 4 so far, haven't we? The final birth.
Small world, it's a kitten.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is a kitten. It was on Under the Black Rock.
Oh, right.
In Llanfair in Arfon.
I have to say, when I was watching the Black Cauldron, I was like, I don't know how they're going to film giving birth to a grain or a bee.
Were there even any bees in it? And no one knew where they came from?
They would have to do it like in Lord of the Rings, where Galadriel gives 3 strands of hair or something to Gimli. And you can't really film someone doing that. So they just have Gimli relate afterwards. In a boat what his gift was. She gave me 3 strands of hair. So you just do it like that. You just get Jonathan Rhys-Davies and then a bee came out.
Yeah, but that would have been a bit out of place. I mean, although it was dark, it would have been quite even darker to be like, and then the pig bore down and squatted out a grain of barley.
Yeah, but could Jonathan Rhys-Davies have pulled that off, I think? Probably.
And it definitely wasn't from the soil, just happened to have barley in. It was
No, I saw it come right out.
right out of the middle hole.
And also a bee.
I knew you would ask, so I made sure.
And it was quite scary, and the pig tried to run away from its own bum because of the bee.
So maybe that's what it was doing as it crossed the whole of Wales, just trying to run away from its own bum.
Yeah.
But that final offspring, the kitten, is Cath Palug.
Yeah.
Cath Palug.
Palug, I think. Palug.
Which is a small black cat that turns into a monster.
A monstrous cat.
Wow.
A monstrous cat, yeah.
It's exactly like my sister's cat.
Yes. It's usually found in the water.
It got cast into the Menai Strait. I thought they threw it into the Menai Strait, but then it got caught by sons of Palig. Did you already say that? And then the eagle and the wolf got adopted by eminent men, but it only brought them bad news, but it doesn't say what.
So these animals all went on to become famous animals, like Nepo baby animals in Welsh mythology.
And grains of rye.
And grains of rye, yeah.
And famous grain o' rye.
But that's probably the rye from the Queen song, Seven Seas of Rye.
I was thinking that.
Because it's probably got a blue hyperlink in his Wikipedia page. You're like, oh, right, famous rye, is it?
And the bee went on to be Beyonce.
And the other bee was the bee out of Johnny B. Good. So yes, you're right. They're very famous. No, this cat goes on, has all sorts of adventures, crops up in Arthurian legends.
It's one of the three plagues.
It's one of the three plagues. Ogier the Dane fought it. And yeah, loads of Arthur stuff. We'll come on to that another time. I think we should revisit that.
And you know that story that we've just discussed? That was just based on a real story. It was based on a true story, except instead of a pig, it was a female religious leader. So that's respectful.
So that actually happened. A woman travelled around Wales giving birth to small animals.
I don't know about the bees.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an allegorical tale. Does that mean it's based on that? Because Arthur harried her around the island of Prydain.
But yes, the original one was meant to be an allegory. Allegorical tale for a religious leader being bullied, basically, in the past.
So we were supposed to be sympathising with the pig, which we were, really.
A little bit, yeah. We did have a little...
Maybe we smiled a little bit around the bee area.
Some of the bee births.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Do you have anything to promote at the moment?
I don't know if this is something that you want to promote. I'm doing a trek in Patagonia next year, which is, it's got like Welsh settlements in. Patagonia is pronounced Patagonia in Welsh. And you both did in perfect unison.
It's because it sounds like they're sort of thinking about it slightly judgmentally, like Patagonia. Well, it's all right. It's not Wales, though, is it?
Like you're trying to get under a burp. Patagonia. And I'm doing it for a Welsh cancer charity, and so I'm raising funds for that. And I've signed up to do it, and it's a very large goal.
Wow.
But I don't know if that's something that I'm allowed to plug on here. But
that sounds very good.
Thanks.
Nice one.
Cheers.
But yeah, Christmas Pig. So Christmas Pig, everyone.
Christmas Pig to you, Jenny.
Christmas Pig to you as well.